And we are live again. Hello, Nuno. How are you?
Very good. And you?
Very, very good. We are Fernanda Nis and Nuno. We are teachers at the Rose Meditation, and today in our podcast, again, we are going to talk a little bit more about some of the techniques of this that is the most ancient way to train. And following with the last 2 weeks podcasts, we are talking about Pranayama. You already know that Pranayama is the breathing exercises, the techniques that work with the flow of the energy in our body. And today, Nuno, we are going to talk about some of the techniques that we can add to the execution of the pranayama.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that in this methodology, usually what we do like this alchemy of the techniques that we use. We put them together in a specific order or intensity or variation to create different combinations with different results, depending on the result that we want to achieve. And in the practice of the pranayama, that's 1/8 of our
Full practice.
full practice. Pranayama is the fourth part of this full practice. I can say we add some modern techniques to the inhalation and the exhalation, because this was one of the titles of our podcast, that pranayama is beyond inhalation and exhalation. So, considering that, could you please explain some of the techniques that we can add or increase in our practice, in our pranayama practice?
So beyond how much, right? How much beyond can we go? Adding more than just inhalation and exhalation. We've mentioned previously about the retentions, for example. But yeah, if we consider from a wide vision to a more subtle or zooming in vision, we should always consider first the position of the body. So asana is part of the exercise. I need to breathe, but I still have my physical body, my real body. So it needs to be part of that. We can use also hand gestures, and we can add other elements that are more subtle, such as bandhas or contractions, mentalizations,
Mantras.
and a few others that we consider them as more subtle, because we need to kind of master, not fully master, but being able to perform in a good way a specific exercise, so we can add these subtle layers to the practice. The more dense layers are the ones that I mentioned first: the position, the hand gesture, then the exercise itself, and then goes to more of a subtle elements that we can stack one on top of the other to make the practice more interesting.
Yeah. And you know that this is one of the things, the tips that we use, so the practice can be really, really strong. Like the exact combination of different techniques, you add things and then it gets more powerful. But at the same time, even though they are powerful, you still need discipline.
Oh yeah.
Because they are going to work, or they're going to work deeper or more in more subtle ways, accordingly to the discipline, to the repetition of the execution over and over again. So those two concepts, I think they help us to understand how those techniques work.
Indeed.
So always consider that the combination is really important. And if you are a student, Don't create new things. Do what your teacher teaches you, suggests to you. When you are a more advanced practitioner and you understand what each technique does in a deeper way, I would say after 10 years, then you can start to try different things. But spoiler, 10 years later, you're going to understand
Back to
that
basics.
that what you learned in the first year, it's the best combination ever because it's been doing for hundreds and thousands of years. So what works is there, but you are free. Not when you are a beginner, just a little bit later. Considering that after this introduction, I would say we could start explaining, or we could focus today in two of those extra techniques that we use in the execution of the pranayamas. The first one would be the bandhas or the contractions. You want to start explaining that?
Okay, I can start explaining what they are, how do we execute them, and then you talk a little bit about the effects, or
of course.
let's put more context in. So, general rule, we do bandhas or contractions during the retentions only. Okay, that's the general rule. So that means you're going to need to be comfortable with a full retention, meaning lungs full, and an empty retention, that means lungs empty. With your lungs full, what we do and what we teach is called Jiva Bandha, which is related to Jiva, that is the tongue, that you're going to curl the tip of your tongue back and you're going to compress the soft palate, which is the roof of your mouth, that soft area close to your throat. And you're going to do that also with your head tilted back. Okay, so you're going to do the following way. You're going to inhale and you're going to tilt your head back by lifting your chin. And once your head is back and your lungs are full, then you're going to curl your tongue back, compress the soft palate during the retention with air only. That's the first one. Then when you exhale, you're going to release your tongue and move the head forward, downwards, but keep your spine vertical. And on an empty breath, you're going to do a combination of 3 bandhas. First one is to tight the sphincters of your anus and urethra. The second one is the contraction of your abdomen in and up. And the third is bring the chin to your chest. You're going to do these 3 at once during the empty retention. Release when you need to inhale. Okay. I think it's a good roadmap of.
Should we do a few repetitions?
I think we can.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm going to explain. You're going to execute. Okay. Because when the head is like this, the voice gets weird. Okay. So sit in a comfortable position. Keep your back straight and motionless the whole time. You're just going to need to move the neck and the head. So next time you inhale, you're going to tilt your head back by lifting your chin. When you hold your breath, the tip of your tongue will compress the soft palate. That's called Jiva Bandha. You're going to hold with your lungs full, continuous contraction. Then when you need to exhale, you're going to release your tongue and move the head forward, downwards. And on an empty breath, tight your sphincters, pull your abdomen in and up, chin compressing your chest, and stay with this triple contraction. You need to inhale again. Good?
Very good. It's not a coincidence that those bandhas, those contractions, they are going to stimulate not just the muscles or the sphincters, but also, and maybe mostly, the glands in these areas, because all these contractions, they are going to do this kind of stimulation to those glands that are so important to us. We have to consider that, remembering that this is not scientific knowledge. It's this knowledge. It's this knowledge based on the experience and 5,000 years plus of trying and doing and keeping what is good and letting go what is not. But little by little, science is finding out all those techniques and all those exercises that you do, and they are going deeper and learning a lot of things. I remember when I started back in the 90s, people who would do meditation were like woo woo, and today meditation is so studied and so known by everyone as this amazing technique that help us a lot, and not just something that the hippies do inside a forest, but something you do in your office to manage your overwhelming life and the stress. So this is going to happen with all those techniques, but not all at the same time, unfortunately.
Yes.
Okay, so those were the bandhas, was a typical combination of the bandhas. And the bandhas are those contractions, because we have our physical body, but we also have this subtle body, this energetic body. That's what differentiates when we are live and when we are not live. I always like to say that if you see some lettuce planted in the soil, you'll see beautiful leaves, and it looks like the lettuce is smiling at you. But if they are inside your fridge, no light, no water, it gets like without life. It's this vital energy that is lacking there. Just a general concept to understand this energetic body that we all have. And the objective of the contractions, even though, for example, the Mula Bandha is really important to strengthen your pelvic floor, and everyone should do that if you want to die 80 plus, looking very young. So strengthening your pelvic floor is so important. But all those exercises beyond working in the dense body, they are going to work in the energetic body. So you can imagine that the same way we have our veins with the blood flowing and bringing nutrients and gas and etc., the same thing happens with our energetic body. So you have a lot of nadis. Nadis are the channels where the energy flows, and we have the strength centers in our body. We have a lot of them, but the most ones are along our spine. So when you do, for example, Mula Bandha, that is this one close to the base of our spine, when we do a contraction, we are bringing the energy up to our spine. I would say, inside our spine, it goes from the bottom to the top of our head. This is the objective. When you do those contractions, the objective is to bring the energy up to the top of our head. And this is why we add the bandhas to the pranayamas, because the pranayamas are going to intensify the absorption of this prana, of this bioenergy. And then you absorb, and what are you going to do with that? You are going to direct to the place you want to. So this is, I would say, the main objective of the bandhas inside the pranayama practice.
Can I add something?
Of course.
Actually, I was getting a sip of water, and then I realized that when you swallow, you are using the same technology. Okay, so bandhas and this energy that we are talking. Imagine you put the water in your mouth, and then you need to make contractions, and there's a kind of a suction, and you notice there's movement, there's energy that is happening in your throat, so you can swallow. Okay. And that's the kind of technology that we use when we perform bandhas. We are doing contractions, so we make some movements the same way as when you swallow. Okay. And the pelvic floor that you are mentioning, for those who have kids, you know how is important for them to train to go to the toilet. And I see my sister and see a lot of our friends that have kids saying, "Yeah, you need to hold, and then you go to the bathroom, and then you
release,
do the job." Okay, that exercise of holding, go to the bathroom, and then release is the same technology, is bandhas that we are talking about. You're going to do some kind of contraction so you can hold whatever needs to be held, and then you release that in a toilet. I think that giving it sometimes other examples, say, oh, it's not something that I need to be very sensitive to feel. No, not at all. All of us have that kind of sensibility, period, because we are always using that, drinking, eating, going to the toilet, and so on. And so to make that kind of a doable and achievable thing, of course, when we are talking in the context of a class, I first need to do a good exercise, then we can add and kind of understand the feelings and the benefits or the results that I want with bandhas, for example. But don't worry, this is not awkward or strange. You're doing it all the time. Okay, I'm just bringing that for a new context, which is the class,
the practice.
Okay.
I really like this comparison. Really good. And the other technique that I'd like to talk about today, it's the mentalization, because we do mentalizations all the time, but we are not aware of them. And so many times we do mentalizations of something we don't want to happen. But maybe this is subject for another podcast. Today we're going to talk about the mentalization in the context of our daily practice, but maybe deeper than that, or narrowing down. I want to talk about the mentalization in the pranayama practice.
Perfect.
What are the mentalizations? Why we do what we expect?
So you can actually mentalize anything. Okay. So if you are a newcomer, one thing that I really like to do as a first mentalization exercise is to imagine that diagram of two lungs, two triangles, and kind of a projection of these two lungs, two triangles over your chest, and imagine that the dimensions are expanding from the bottom to the top when you inhale, and when you exhale, the opposite. Kind of to reinforce those movements of the complete breath. Beautiful. Because it's so useful.
Beautiful.
Okay? And it's kind of, we study that in school. We've seen thousands of books, that section of the human body and the two lungs. And you just need to grab from your memories that image, project over your chest, and then imagine that is enlarging and shrinking, coordinated with breath. It's a very simple way to give a start with mentalization during the process.
Nice.
I like that one. Then I like the gas interchange, which is more about the function of breathing. That you imagine, okay, I'm going to bring a lot of air into the lungs. So that means a lot of potential, a lot of oxygen particles, right? Those particles will move to the lung sacs, and the gas interchange happens. So oxygen goes to your bloodstream, and you take out the carbon dioxide that you're going to release on the exhalation. which is kind of zooming into the lung sacs, like on the walls of your lungs, and imagine what is happening. Okay. And it's a second very interesting way of starting mentalizations, more about the function. So that one I like when I introduce how important the full retention is. So imagine you are putting a lot of potential into your lungs, but then if you breathe out,
they just pass by.
Yeah, no. Let's hold here a little bit so I can do more gas interchange per cycle. And that's a really interesting one that I do for beginners, so they can put more value on the full retention.
Nice.
Okay, I like that one. And then you have other ones that are even more subtle. They are related to the energetic paths.
Yes.
Nadis, chakras, centers of energy. They are very useful as well, but sometimes it requires a little bit of study. Again, you need to see the diagrams. You need to probably read a little bit, understand a little bit more the context of what it is. But remember, it's the same map or the same layer of your body that is used in acupuncture.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not new. It's ancient.
Ancient and from another part of the world.
Yeah.
Even though if you look in a globe, you look, oh no, Indian, China, they are close by. They're not. They are way far. And it's a parallel knowledge. It was developed in a different way, but they agree with that. So it shouldn't be a coincidence.
No.
Right?
It's scientific, built in a way that we don't know because it's so old. It is so ancient. But yeah, they overlap and they are kind of the same map. Different names, of course, different interpretations, but it's very, very similar. So we can use mentalizations also using that roadmap of your nadis, of your chakras. And you can put more intention there, okay? Like you're tired, you want to do a pranayama. Imagine that you're putting a lot of energy into you, like charging yourself with oxygen, with prana, with nutrients, with and you can emphasize whatever you want with intention, creating an image that reinforces that. For example, I'm tired and I'm doing a class, or I'm giving a class and I see a lot of my students kind of evening, kind of I sometimes do mentalizations. They are kind of imagine like you're having superpowers. Your skin is glowing a golden color. You're getting stronger every breath you take. It's just symbolic.
Yeah, but it works.
But it works. It just pushes you forward with that intention.
True.
And so mentalizations can also be almost like you see it in the movies. Kind of the superheroes, superpowers, those kind of representations, because they are so vivid in our minds, in our memories, that they can actually work the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is powerful. Okay. You're injured. You can mentalize that you're healing your knee. I did something. My knee is hurting. Oh, today I'm not going to do asana. I'm going to have more time for pranayama. Do mentalization for your knee.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Put energy in there, put vitality there, put regeneration in there. Use the same mentalizations. So it's kind of endless examples that we can bring.
Yeah.
Okay. I could be talking here for
days. But no. Unfortunately, the subject pranayama this was our last podcast about the subject. And next week we're going to come back with another subject, with another
lovely
thing to explore inside of our practice of this. That is the most ancient way to train. Meanwhile, We have to say that November we have the Black November campaign.
And this time there's no discounts.
Oh, really?
There's upgrades.
Woohoo!
And I like
even
that.
better.
It's even better, right? So what happens? You choose your membership, and for the first 3 months, your access will be upgraded to the following membership. Okay.
Cool.
So it is a great way to kind of boost your beginning or your return. Like if you are you've practiced in the past and you're just trying to find a reason to come back.
Yeah, this is the reason.
Why not? So use this promotion for the month, and you join at any time. You just choose your membership, start practicing, and then you realize that your access is bigger than the membership that you have chosen for the first 3 months.
Amazing. So you can go to the link here or the link in our bio in Instagram.
Correct.
And we hope to see you in our classes and see you next week.
Have a mindful week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.